back to another episode of Anong Pake Mo Kung Single Ako. And for tonight, may makakasama na naman po tayong guest. Syempre guys, kwentuhan about single. So, kailangan may kasama tayong guest. Yan. Oo, nagulat ako, girl. Ayan. Batiin po natin yung ating 1 million viewer. Nag-iisa po siyang nanonood. So, hello kay Faith Dioses. Hello, girl. Thank you so much sa pagbati sa ating guest. Nagwapong-gwapo daw. Mamaya natin banggitin ang kanyang pangalan. Ayan. Ayan, yun lang. Yun lang talaga sasabihin ko. So, hello guys, good evening. Kamusta naman kayo dyan? Ano guys, September na, mag-October na, single pa rin tayo, pero okay lang yan guys. Ano ba? Let's embrace being single and follow. Gusto ko yung naipasa ko. Follow Hoy Single Ako for more positive outlook about being single and yun. Ayan, batiin natin, nandito daw si Coach Ron, andito pa ako, Alamero. Ayan, hello, binabati ko po si Coach Ron. Ayan, gusto ko lang din pong batiin yung opang-opa natin, Coach. Sabi nga dito ni Faith. Hello, Coach Ron. Good evening. Thank you for watching and hello din kay Faith. So, hindi na sila 1 million, 2 million na. Yan. So, excited na ba kayo? Ipakilala ko ang ating guest for tonight. Kasi, actually, nung nagkakonton kami backstage, sabi ko, hindi ko alam kung paano ko napapakilala, pero bahala na. Yan. Ayan. So, anyway, pakilala natin ang ating guest for tonight. Yan. So, actually, hindi ko pinaalam yung aking moniker sa kanya. So, nagulat siya nung lumabas ang poster. So, ayan. So, gusto ko nabubula na ako. But, ayan, he is a chef. And he is also a ka-single friend natin na nakilala natin sa Passionate Creators community. And also, he is a proofreader na sobrang minimal napapansin pa niya. Minimal corrections napapansin pa niya. And also, ang tito ng bayan. Let us all welcome ang HOTTIE Tito ng Cavite, Franz Padilla. Ayan!
Hi! Magandang gabi sa inyo lahat.
Friends.
Good evening sa ating 2 million viewers. Thank you
sa support. Yes, natin yung 2 million viewers.
Magandang gabi, Coach Ron. Faith, magandang gabi. Share niyo yung live.
Gusto ko yung nagkwentuhan na po sila dyan sa comment section. Sige guys, ipagpatuloy nyo lang yan para din sa ating engagement. But anyways, Franz, since hindi ko naman, siguro to start lang din, baka gusto mo magpakilala din ng iyong sarili. What do you do ba?
Marami akong ganap sa buhay. So number 1 na dyan yung MaxiCare as a health benefit agent. I also have VA work, virtual assistant na kung saan nagsusulat ako. And then I also have another job na, well, on the side lang din, pero nagsusulat pa rin. Kaya medyo strong suit natin yung proofreading, yung ganyan, kasi gusto nating perfect lagi yung kapag tayo sa ano. And then I also have St. Peter. Diba? And
ayan, kompleto talaga si Franz. All in one.
And then meron akong Yusana. Yun lang naman for the meantime.
Ayan. So, very busy din si Tito Franz. Sa dami din niyang ganap in life, no? So far dun sa mga nabanggit niya, baka guys, meron kayong hinahanap dun sa mga binanggit niya. Alam niyo na kung sinong tatawagan o i-message. Yes. Si Franz lang po yan. Ayan. So, Franz, excited ka na ba sa ating kwentuhan tonight? Na feeling ko, nag-ready ka na ata ng mga, natin. Ready ka na ba sa ating mga questions?
Yes, of course.
Ayan, gusto ko talaga yung nagkukwentuhan na po sila sa sa ating group chat, sa ating comment section. Ayan. So, batiin natin ang ating 2 million very active viewers. Coach Ron and Faith. Yan. Sige guys, magkwentuhan lang kayo dyan. And of course, Franz, of course, yung ating first question, syempre hihirapan ko kaagad. First question eh. Alam mo
Grabe
yun?
naman.
Syempre, ayan. Sige, ang ating first question, Franz, is kamusta ang puso? Kamusta ang puso ni Franz today? Hindi bukas, hindi next week, today.
Today, hindi ko alam in what sense ba. Kasi if we talk about um, physical health na puso ko, okay naman yung last ECG ko, care of MaxiCare. Yes.
Yes.
Kung tungkol naman sa buhay in life, well, medyo may pinagdadaanan tayo ngayon because of the situation of my dad. Yun yung medyo masakit sa puso. But, you know, life goes on, so we just have to move on. If sa love life naman, sagana tayo sa pagmamahal ni Lord. So, overall naman, masaya pa rin naman, okay pa rin naman yung puso natin.
Ayan, sagana sa pagmamahal ni Lord. And of
Yes.
course, overall, okay na okay ang puso ni Tito Franz. Yes! Ayan. So, Franz, no, kwento mo naman, since sabi mo nga sagana ka sa pag-ibig ni Lord, how long ka na bang, single?
Frankly, hindi ko na, hindi ko na maalala. Since, kailan ba? 2007?
Sige, kaya mo yan. Nag-compute po siya.
Mga 14 years na.
14 years, okay. So, medyo matagal-tagal na din pala ito, no? So, gusto ko yung pinag-compute natin si Franz. Tapos, ang layo na pala ng pagbalik niya ng mga dates and years. Dates and years. So, kwento mo naman, Franz. So, ito bang 14 years na ito is, pinili mo ba to or wala kang choice or gusto mo talaga personal preference?
Well, actually, na parang may preview ka na kanina on the status of my heart. It's because it's not really a choice, but because naging busy ako. So, number one na dyan yung panganay duties. There's always that, you know, expectation na pag ikaw ang panganay, ikaw yung ikaw yung aasahan, ganyan. So, the first few years of my career was dedicated to helping out. And then, nung makaluwag-luwag naman, dahil tapos na ako sa mga obligasyon ko, yun naman yung naging focus ko sa sarili ko. So, in-enjoy ko yung work ko, in-enjoy ko yung pagiging single ko. Doon na ako lumalabas, nag-join sa mga team building, ganyan. The first time na first time na lumuwas ako from Manila was after 6 years na nandito ako sa Manila. And the first one was in Baguio. Di ba? Uso ngayon yung Baguio. So, ayan. And then, after nun, I decided, kasi na-realize ko walang pinapatunguhan yung pera ko. And then, that's where I started to save up for my house, kung saan ako ngayon. And then, by grace of God, nandyan na yung mga additional options for career growth when I left the BPO industry. And then, siguro kasabay na din yung kasi nung mga una, bago pa ako naging Christian, hindi talaga ako amiable. Suplado vibe ko, mayabang ako magsalita. Pag sinabi, I really speak my mind. And most of the time, I have very strong opinions. So, very argumentative and ayoko nang hindi nakakasabay sa mga usap-usap. So, parang ayoko, in short, ayaw natin ng mga mababaw na usapin. And some people just can't, get the vibe. And siguro yun yung naging dahilan kung bakit isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit wala masyadong wala wala tayong ma-approach or walang nagkakamali dahil sa
Oo.
ganun. But because of, because meron naman tayong love ni Lord, especially when I met the Lord 2 years ago, yun na, yung parang mukhang magaan na yung buhay, okay na yung ano, and then I found balance in my opinions in terms of how I frame it para
Mm.
mas balanse ba. So hindi na siya sobrang strong. I still get the message across, pero hindi na siya yung coming across as mayabang.
Ah,
Yun.
okay. So you mentioned ano din pala no, you're part of the breadwinner club. And also, yun nga, naging busy ka din sa career-wise, sa growth mo, sa, alam mo yun,
Mm.
actually, sa dami ng binanggit mo kanina, ang ginagawa mo, hindi ko maisip kung paano mo nahahati-hati yung 24 hours mo in a day. So, ayun. So,
Ah,
nakakaloka yung ano yung his schedule ni Tito Friends sa ano sa
oo.
meron siyang ganap dito, ganyan, and everything. So, ayan, thank you so much. Okay? So, batiin natin yung mga bagong pasok. Bagong pasok, ang
Uy,
tuloy.
Tita Nikki nandyan.
Oo nga eh. Batiin natin si Tita Nikki Tan. Gusto ko yung Tita Nikki. Hi, Tita Nikki. Ayan, hello, Nix. And also, nandito din pala si, ano ang pangalan kanina? Nakita ko si Levs. Pero
Uy, hi Levs.
hindi ko makita yung message niya kasi nag-usap-usap na po sila sa chat. Ayun, si Levs. Hello, Levs. Good evening and thank you for watching. Ayan, sabi nga dito friends kanina, so far, yung experience niya about sa mga ganitong bagay, kasi madami siya talagang napagdaanan in life eh. Being the breadwinner of his family, at sometimes nakakalimutan mo yung ano, tama ba, Franz? Yung
Yeah,
personal, personal, personal. Hindi
relationships.
maisip yung word. Yung ano mo, yung, yan, may magka-love life, ganon. Ayan.
Yeah.
So, batiin din natin, hello, Coach G. Gusto ko yung mga nanonood dito, yung mga, ano natin, mga coach natin, si Coach Ron, si Coach G, and also, ayan, may bago ulit pasok. Hi kay Maria Laksamana. Ayan.
Uy, nandito rin siya last week, di ba?
Oo nga eh. Basta ako single and too sleepy to mingle. Ayan, ang ganda. Ang ganda yung pagkaka-rhyme mo doon.
Gusto ko yan.
Maano nga yan. Ayan.
Oo.
So, going back dun sa ating kwentuhan, no, friends. Since yun nga, sabi mo, may mga path ka na sinundan or may mga gusto kang in-achieve in your career-wise and also sa family mo, ganyan. So, kwento mo naman, Tito Friends, no? Since nabanggit mo kanina, 14 years na din pala. So, medyo matagal-tagal na din. So, kwento mo naman, ano ba yung mga naging advantage for you of being single?
Ayun. Well, actually, the number one thing na kapag ka-single ka is you can manage your own time.
Yes.
So, yun yung pinaka nawawala when you're in a relationship. Yung time mo, bukod sa sarili mo, is your time. Kasi hati na yung focus mo. So, if you're single, you have a lot of time. Tapos, pwede kang gumising ng tanghali nang walang nagte-text sa'yo or nagme-message sa'yo na bakit hindi ka nagre-reply. Yung mga
Oo.
gano'n, ayoko kasi ng mga gano'ng kababawan.
Oo.
Sorry. Yung tipong, ba't di ka nagre-reply? Eh, syempre, tulog ako, malamang. Tapos, ayaw natin yung mga pag single ka, you can select the goal na gusto mong i-achieve at pwede mo siyang gawin
Yes.
without any hesitations, without any objections na hindi mo naman kaya yan, hindi mo yan pwedeng gawin, hindi mo dapat gawin, yung mga ganong objections. So, meron tayo, hindi mo rin kailangang mag-consult, gawin mo yan. Ang disadvantage naman nun is 'pag nagkamali ka, ikaw lang, you only have yourself to blame. Pero ang maganda dun is because you make mistakes on your own, you also learn more on your own. And the learning part is the best part kasi when you learn by yourself, when you apply things by yourself, the learning sticks and you're able to move forward. And that learning, you take it with you, and then it it holds its parang nandyan sa iyo lagi, hindi siya nawawala. So the moment that you have that learning, it continues to be with you, and you're able to apply it in life in general. So yun yung pinakamaganda. Another thing with it being single, aside from having a lot of time, is that is the decision making part. So
Mm-mm.
pwede kang manood ng movie, no matter how corny the movie is. Pwede kang umupo sa sinehan, especially kung mga bagong screening yan, nang wala kang iniintindi na, oy, ano
Yes.
oras ka pupunta? Magmo-malling ako. I go wherever I want inside the mall. I can eat whatever I wanna eat without compromising na, ano ba gusto mo?
Oo.
Tapos makakarinig ka ng kahit ano. Tapos 'pag
Ah,
kumakain na kayo, umorder ka na, after
masama
a
ang loob.
while, masama ang loob. So, ayaw natin ng mga ganyan. Sabihin mo kung ano gusto mo, puntahan natin. 'Pag vibe tayong dalawa, go. Pero kung hindi, 'di ano ba talaga, kasi ayoko ng mga yung indecision ba, yung indecision will usually irritates me a lot. Although ako din hindi rin maka-decide, pero ayaw natin ng gano'n. Yun, ayan, ang daming
Ayan, so,
comment.
sabi nga, sabi nga ni Franz, no, he manages his own time as being single, of course, kasi syempre, sa dami-dami nung binanggit niya kanina, kung hindi ko sure kung paano pa niya isisingit ang love life, guys. Char. Pero, malay niyo, guys, di ba? And also, sabi din niya na, kung ano yung mga goals niya na gusto niya ma-achieve on his own, kayang-kaya niya yun gawin. Kasi especially ngayon, parang yung dun sa next point is yung making decisions. Hindi niya kailangan, ang tawag dito, parang intindihin yung opinion ng ng partner niya if ever na may mga gusto siyang gawin in life or may kailangan siyang pagdesisyonan in life. And
Yes.
also, yan, batiin natin yung bagong pasok. Bagong pasok. Si Master Ralph Rivas. Hello, hello, Master. Master. Ayan, so,
Yun.
meron daw siyang irereto sa'yo and kinakabahan si Nikitan kasi doon daw sila nagsimula ng asawa. Ayan, so sabi nga din dito ni Levs, parang nagre-recruit, parang na-miss ko ang mundong kausap ko lang at makasamang tama ba?
Mag-decide ang alter
Mag-decide ka ng
ego.
alter ego ko. So, Levs, shout out, hello. Join ka lang sa aming community chat. Pinasali.
Ayun,
Yan.
agree din ako kay Maria na 'pag single ka, wala kang kaagaw sa food.
Yan. Isa pa yan sa mga isa sa mga advantages natin yan. So, kung buy one, take one man yan, sa'yo na yung buy one, sa'yo pa ang take one. Tama ba,
Yes.
Maria?
Yeah. Well, isa sa mga disadvantage tulad ng sinabi ni coach, yung wala kang kahati sa bill. Pero,
Oo.
strong and independent tayo. Hindi natin kailangan ng magkahati sa bill dahil na-achieve natin yung goals natin. Meron tayong pambayad. Hindi natin
Yes, tama.
kailangang mang, malimos or
Oo.
mang emotional manipulation sa partner natin para lang ibili tayo ng ganito. And halimbawa, may gusto kang sapatos, may gusto kang bag, may gusto kang puntahan. Although ako hindi naman ako magala. Usually, okay na ako sa popcorn, cookies, tsaka isang magandang book. I can stay at home anytime I want. So, ngayon lang din natin ini-enjoy yung pagala-gala. Although ngayon, mahirap nang gumala.
Oo, tama. Actually, meron akong isang naalala na nung nagkita-kita tayo, tama 'di ba? Bumili ka ng takoyaki, 2 box, yung isa shinare mo sa amin. Sa inyo na yan. Kayang, parang ano to si Tito Franz, I can buy you anything. Char.
Yes.
Sobrang strong independent niya na person, parang kaya natin 'yun. Kasi parang napaghandaan niya yung talaga, yung life niya in the future. So, yeah,
Yes.
magkwentuhan lang kayo guys sa ating comment section. And sabi nga dito ni Nikki, pag may partner, may nagte-text sa'yo na kumain ka na ba, dami nyo namimiss ka. Ay, depende yan, Nikki Tan. Char. May
Hindi
din,
ko kailangang mag-report na kumain na ako dahil you know, that's the number one thing na ayoko pagka ano is, I'm an adult and I can take care of myself. So I know when to eat, what to eat, when and what to eat, 'di ba?
yan, tama, tama. Very strong and independent talaga si Tito Franz. Yan. So, going back din sa ating pinag-uusapan, no. Kwento mo naman, Tito Franz, since it's been a long time na single ka. So, so far ba, meron kang kahit pa paano namimiss or na-FOMO sa mga friends mo na in a relationship about being, of having or ano ba yung mga nami-miss mo nung meron kang ka-relationship na ngayong single ka?
Well, number one, kasi I'm around several other younger folks who have just recently been married. So parang, ang cute naman, meron silang they're planning together, ganyan, they're achieving things together, they're paying the bills together. So yun yung maganda doon. Pero um what you miss is kapag meron kang, when there are times in your life that you're really down and you don't have anyone
Yes.
to go to, you can't open up to your family, you can't open up to your relatives, na there are just some topics that only you and your partner can have.
Mm-mm.
So, yung mga ganong bagay na, kasi ako ngayon, ang kausap ko sarili ko in front of the mirror when I have my own introspection time. Yun lang. Pero if it would help if you have a partner who has a different opinion or who can give you good advice. Kasi, yun yung yun nakakamiss.
Ayan. So, sabi nga, parang ano ba to, Franz? Constant companion or kausap to anything and
Mm.
everything in between. Anong between? In between. Gusto ko na
Oo naman.
mabulol ako. Ayan.
Well,
Yun. So,
hindi ako fan ng anything and everything in between. Mas gusto ko yung deep conversations, like what
yes.
are your goals, what do we
Oo.
do about it, how do we plan for the future, what are our strategies, what's your opinion on the current ano yan, current administration, yung mga ganyan,
Mm.
how are you or what's your take about um divorce, mga gano'n. Yung ayaw natin yung, "Ano
Yes.
kakainin natin mamaya? Um, Puwede ba akong
Mga
ano."
pa-bebe questions.
Ayoko yun,
Ayan. So,
sorry na.
meron tayo ditong mga bashers. Pangalanan po natin siyang Nikitan, Team Not Single. Ayan. So, gusto ko
Tita
yung
Nikki, baka
bakit po,
gusto mo maging
Tita
single
Nikki, baka
ulit.
gusto mo nang matulog. Charot. Pinatulog. Hindi. Anyway, sige, balikan ko yung question ni Coach Ron later on, no? So, Coach Ron, balikan natin yung question mo. Kahit may pa-joke na kasama. So, ayan, sabi din dito ni Maria, nakakamiss kapag tinatag ka sa mga sweet posts. Anong take mo doon, Franz?
Well, okay lang naman yung sweet. I mean, pero I'm I'm not a fan of public affection.
Mm-mm.
Yung mga tipong, um, Hi love, mga ganyan. Tapos sa wall nakalagay. Mga
Oo.
ganun. I find it hindi naman ano, pero hindi naman sa lahat. It just doesn't apply to me. For other people, it may be their love language. Pero kasi ang language ko is more on acts of service. So, yun, pagluto mo ako or um, hilutin mo, hilutin mo yung likod ko dahil laging sumasakit. Yung mga ganung bagay. Pero
Oo.
yung mga words of affection, that's just palabok for me. So, not really much into that. And siguro isa din yun sa dahilan kasi hindi ako talaga ma ano yun, masalita in terms of being affectionate na masasabing ko I love you, mga ganyan ganyan. I'm more on these are the things that I wanna do for you, and pagsisilbihan kita, pagluluto kita, yung mga ganong bagay. Babiyahe ako para sa iyo.
Oo, tama. And
Yun.
oo, tama. So, anyway, sabi nga dito, sabi din ulit dito ni Nikki, masaya din daw ang PDA in real life. Depende sa tao, Nix. Gusto ko yung binabash ko si Nix. Hi, Nix. Love you. Yan. So, going back no sa ating kwentuhan. So, since napag-uusapan naman natin yung friends, yung pagiging ready, ganyan, since it's been a while din na you've been single. So, kwento mo naman, friends, kung ano ba yung mga non-negotiables mo in a partner or yung parang na din, set of standards or ano ba yung nilulook mo sa isang tao? Nilulook? Ang gulo ng English ko. Ay, ng Tagalog.
Well, unang-una, madisiplina. Yan, kasi ako, may yan yung pinaka-challenge ko talaga is, yung sustaining, the routine. Activator, Coach Ron, hello. Yan. So, kailangan ko ng taong kayang mag-apply consistently ng mga bagay-bagay. And then, yung 50-50 sa lahat. Sa goals, sa relationship, sa life in general. Maganda yung taong may humor at the same time matalino. Kasi yung mga tipong pagsasabihan mo patungkol sa mga desisyon na sa buhay, aba, hindi partner ang kailangan mo.
Nanay.
nanay, nanay, tatay, kapatid, meron ka na niyan. So, ayaw natin ng ng anything less than that. Tapos yung kailangan financially prepared. Yan. So, that insured ka na kahit hindi ako beneficiary, okay lang yan. Um,
Tama,
yung,
tama.
yung maalam ka mag-budget, meron kang sarili mong HMO, yung mga ganong mga bagay. Kasi hindi na practical yung um, hindi tayo papakainin ng love.
Yes. Wag tayo masyado yung papunta dun sa love kasi mahal ko, kasi char. Hindi tayo tama yung sinabi ni Friends na hindi tayo mapapakain ng love. Ayun. So, siguro summarize ko lang din yung binanggit ni summarize ko yung binanggit ni Friends na kanyang non-negotiables is of course, sabi nga niya is humor is also key then, and also yung nag-rumble na sa utak ko. Pero yung isa financial freedom, true. Financial ready, and also yung isa is hindi ko maalala yung una. Pero yan, sorry friends, nagre-rumble siya sa utak ko. But anyway, there. Gusto ko yung naririnig ko ba yung sarili ko? Tama ba guys? Hindi. Okay na. Okay na. Ayun. So, yan. So, next question ko, friends, naman is, guys, dun sa mga nanonood dyan, paki-prepare na yung ating question kasi bibigyan ko kayo ng chance tanungin si Franz ng kahit anong question. Okay lang ba yun, Franz?
Sure.
Yeah. So next question ko is, how do you know that you are ready to jump away from being single, or in short, to settle down in the future?
I think no one is really specifically very ready for relationships. I strongly believe in serendipity, that you find love in the right time at the right moment. Um, Kasi you don't jump, you let yourself fall. Yun, tama-tama si Coach Ron.
Ang ganda nun, you don't jump.
Oo. Pero meron tayong mga non-negotiables in terms of jumping into a relationship. Yung
Mm-hmm.
number one is kailangan whole ka by yourself. Kasi if you're looking for a partner to complete you, then that's not really love. That's
Yes.
selfish. You also have to be financially ready. So I believe okay naman na ako sa aspect na yan. Ready for commitment. Yon. So, kasi relationships are a commitment between two people. Ngayon, if only one person is committed, then technically hindi siya relationship. Ano na, yaya, ganun, or kung ano
Oo.
pa mga tawag dyan. Ayaw natin na nagbe-babysit sa mga I mean, we're old enough to be making our own decisions. So, we should also be ready to make decisions with our partners when the time comes.
Ayun, ang ganda nung na-share ni Franz, no? And of course, siguro sabihin ko na lang din, parang for each person naman kasi, iba-iba yung perspective. And for Franz, sabi nga niya is, sa tingin niya, kung yung tatlong bagay na nabanggit niya nga kanina is, okay na siya, at least, he knows that he's ready, na magkaroon ng family in the future, or yan, family, children, if ever they plan to have one, two, three children. So, yun. And also, sabi nga dito ni, ba't ayaw na nung ano ko? Sabi dito ni Coach Ron, have a relationship with the kid and you'll end up babysitting.
'Di ba? Yun
There.
yun. So, ako yung single na hinihingan ng relationship advice ng mga tao sa buhay ko. I mean, shout out sa kanila. So may mga close friends tayo na nanghihingi. It's because I think when I give advice, I I try to have impartial or make it as equal as possible, or
Mm-mm.
striking a balance, kasi I also take into consideration the other person. So may magtatanong diyan, ba't ba hindi kami magkasundo, ganyan ganyan. So they lay down the facts, pero that's just one side. And then whenever they ask me for advice, I ask them the hard questions na, baka naman hindi lang naman dahil sa kanya, baka ikaw din. What are the things that you need to work on for yourself? That would make
Yes,
the
yes.
relationship work. Kasi a relationship is two people working together. If siya lang ang nagme-maintain ng relationship, or ikaw lang ang nagme-maintain sa tingin mo, then what is it that you're doing or you're not doing that will contribute to a better relationship? And most of the time, right, natata natatameme sila. Kasi I'm the one who asks them the hard questions na, or give them the reality that it's not just
Mm-mm.
about you, it's also about the other, or it's not just about the other person, it's also about you. So if you fail to see that there's an issue with you, then technically, or well, consequently, the relationship will actually not work to your favor. So it would be best that instead of talking to me and asking for my advice, you go and talk to your partner and then tell them what are the things that you plan to work on, want to work on, and how do they move forward with this relationship. Kasi there's always na ano the point na laging ako yung tama in a relationship and then the other person is wrong. Pero if you
Yes.
ask them the right questions, eh may mali ka rin naman pala eh, isang palingkit eh.
Oo.
So magtigil ka sa iyong ilusyon at kausapin mo ang partner mo.
Okay. So that's actually ang ganda ng point ni Franz, no. So there are ano talaga eh, madami talaga tayong parang ganung mga points in life na may encounter, and one of those things nga is yung nabanggit ni Franz na if makarating ka man dun sa point na yun, parang depende kung paano mo siya, kung anong perspective mo siya titignan. Kasi sabi nga ni Franz, yung mga friends niya sa kanya lumalapit even though right now he's parang long time na single, but of course kasi yung parang sabi nga ni Friends is yung pagkukwento niya or pakikipag-usap niya sa kanya is very reality based or parang sobrang prangka para dun sa tao na ano yun, parang magising siya dun sa reality ng alam mo yun, ng life or nung actually parang in life in general or kahit sa love life yung tinatanong sa kanya, no. So, ayan, meron na tayong chance. Wow, meron na kayong chance magtanong, guys, para kay Franz. And also, balikan ko yung question dito ni Coach Ron. So, kailan ka daw last kinilig, Franz? Wow,
Kanina no.
nung naka-close siya. Char.
Well, usually naman kinikilig tayo pag nakakabenta tayo ng MaxiCare. Hello, hi guys. Yun, kilig yun. Um, Kailan ba? Well, mahirap kasi ata akong masatisfy. Isa pa siguro yun sa dahil kung ba't single tayo is masyadong mataas in terms of standards. Pero 'di ba if if you really want to have long-term relationship, why not have a set of standards as well? Kasi kung putyo-putyo lang tayo, di sige, para na tayong ano, pwede naman tayo mag-jump into one relationship to another. Pero what does that achieve other than having a Facebook status that you're in a relationship? Ayoko ng ganyang kababawan. So, doon tayo sa long term. Ayaw natin ng short term.
Yes,
When
yes.
you go into a relationship, you should have the intent to marry, not because you want to be a relationship, the to be um para makiuso lang, just to be in a
Oo.
relationship.
Yes, tama. Huwag tayo ma-FOMO din sa mga friends nating araw-araw nagpo-post ng pictures ng sweet sila. Char. May hugot ata yung may hugot yung pagkakasabi ko na. But anyway, sabi nga dito ni Nikki is, love is not about you, it's about the other person. Love is not selfish. If di mo kaya na hindi magbigay ng unconditional, wag ka mag-relationship. Yes, that's true. And, ayan, parang ayaw nila mag-question sa'yo,
Um,
friends, no?
Sorry, Tita Nikki, I beg to disagree that it's not about you. It's about the both of you. So
Yes.
it's a share of about you and about the other person. Kasi if you focus on just the other
The other
person and
person.
you leave out yourself, then that's not a relationship. If that's the same case with the other person, na siya yung nakafocus sa'yo at nawawala na yung sarili niya in the process, then that's not love. That's not even a relationship. It's just a status of two people mutually together, but not forming a real relationship. And you're setting yourself up for a breakup and heartache if that's the case. So you have to work things out as a couple, um, between you and your partner para okay kayong dalawa. Kasi if it's just about you or about the other person, then hindi talaga mag-work yung relationship.
Yes. So parang ano siya, no? Parang one-sided one-sided love for
Yun.
ayan. So, okay. So, guys, binigyan ko kayo ng chance mag-question pero ayaw nyo. Ay, char. Ayan, gusto ko na mag-message na daw
Usap
kay
tayo
Tita Nikki.
mamaya, sabi ni Tita Nikki.
Usap daw kayo ni Tita Nikki Tan. Anyways, there. So, siguro to wrap up this lang, to wrap up lang din ang ating kwentuhan, no? So, of course, lahat naman ng ating ginagas Tito friends, no, magbibigay ng tips and advice sa ating mga kasingle. And of course, you can give your advice then.
Well, number one, embrace your journey being single. So we call that single blessedness. You're not a puzzle to be completed, but by another person to be whole by yourself. You're whole despite being broken. The second thing is whenever if you will be in a relationship, God has to be in the center. Yun. Kasi when
Great.
you live a God-centered life, both as a person and in when you're in a relationship, then definitely it's number one for long term. Number two, there's compromise. Number three, you're both whole and that there's less or minimal issues to be taken up with, both financially, morally, spiritually. Um, and sometimes even the physical needs are taken care of because you have everything, you have God in the center.
Of your relation.
Yes.
Ayun, okay. So, okay, so may kinoment dito si Coach Ron. Eventually, you will find someone compatible enough for you to agree with each other and different enough to learn and grow together. Yes.
Yun, ganda nun, coach.
Ganda nun, Coach.
Yes. So meron
And
meron kang kasabay na mag-grow with you and at the
yes.
same time compatible kayo.
Yes, tama. And of course, balikan ko lang din yung tips and advice ni Franz is, of course, yung number one is embrace your journey being single. Guys, paulit-ulit na tayo dito sa ating HSA lives na embrace natin ang pagiging single or i-enjoy lang natin yung journey or yung kung nasaan man tayo ngayon as a single person. And of course, sabi nga din dito ni Franz, if you will be in a relationship, kailangan kasama din si Lord doon. Or have a relationship na God-centered. Kasi, actually parang yung nabanggit din ni Shimi last week na parang, kung papasok man siya sa relationship, parang gusto niya, yung binigay sa kanya ni Lord or parang something na, something na about, parang, nagre-revolve of your relationship niya is parang nagre-revolve din around dun sa blessing ni Lord, dun sa binigay niya sa inyong opportunity or time to be together. And also yun nga sabi ni Franz, being God-centered din kasi dun sa relationship parang yun yung solidify sa inyo together. So naubusan ako ng English. Ubusan ako English. Yan. So, sabi nga din dito ni Tita Nikki, enjoy singleness. Mamimiss ng husto when you're officially taken. True, true. Ay, gusto ko yung may experience. Sige, Tita Nikki, pagdasal mo na lang kami ni Tito Franz. Thank you so much for commenting and thank you so much at gising na gising ka pa rin at this time.
Tita Nikki, sorry ulit, pero when
I beg to disagree ulit.
I beg to disagree. When you are in a parang wala ka namang mamimiss if you go into a relationship kasi if you're whole before you go into a relationship, then you're technically still whole when you are in a relationship. So wala kang mamimiss. The things that you do, you're free to do because your partner respects the things that you want, and you also respect your partner with the things that they want. And then there's mutual understanding between the two of you. I think there's a post na medyo nagte-trending ngayon about the couple na, yung isa aligaga, yung isa malinis, yung isa yung couple na yun, I think they're a famous couple na, but they managed to compromise. Yung isa, yung aligaga, siya yung naglilinis ng ganun. So, there's compromise, and kapag you're able to compromise, then definitely the relationship is not as rocky as it is perceived to be when you go into a relationship. Although there will be, of course, um ano 'yun, may mga may mga bagay talaga na pagtatalunan, pero that's the adjustment period. If you're both mature enough to accept the flaws of each other,
Mm-mm.
and then work it out as a couple, then definitely, um, the relationship won't be as hard, or there won't be much friction. Kasi I've seen that with my parents nung una. Kasi when they got married, they were also young, and there was definitely a lot of friction. But they managed to, talk it out and work it out together. And even in the folks that consult me, they would talk about it, and they would adjust accordingly. Kasi sabi ko, hindi pwedeng i-insist mo din yung mga bagay na gusto mo sa buhay, or mga bagay na talagang kaya mo, na gusto mong gawin when you were single, kapag meron ka ng relationship. Kasi there are things na you have to also compromise when you are in a relationship. Compromise, hindi sacrifice. Kasi sacrifice is just barely, accepting the things that don't work out for you. You really have to have compromise so you can work together to make the relationship work.
Okay. So actually parang medyo ipagtatanggol ko lang din na onti si Tita Nikki. Feeling ko yung gusto niyang iparating is mostly siguro yung mga things na you do as a single person. Not necessarily na parang yung nabanggit mo kanina, no, Franz, yung making decisions on your own. Siguro at some point mamimiss mo din siya kasi once you're in a relationship or officially taken, sabi nga dito ni Nikki, is something na, syempre, you have to consider the other person's, opinion, or ano yung masasabi niya. But of course, siguro yun nga din, may mga points din sa sinabi mo, Franz, and also may points din si Nikki. Gusto ko yung wala po tayong kinakampihan dito, so mahal ko po kayong dalawa. So, gusto ko yung nagpakaano yung includer ko. So, ayan. So, but anyway, sabi nga din dito ni Coach Ron, makinig tayo kay Nikitan sa real life experience kasi madami siyang experience siya.
Kasi 'di ba, when you know each other and you're able to work things out together, na kapag ka nag-decide na to, napag-isipan niya na ang ginawa niya, at alam niya na or na-consider niya na yung mga consequences noon sa sarili niya at sa relationship. So, I think what matters most in the decision making part when you're a couple already is how deep your relationship is, how well you know the other person and each other on how you will react as a couple, and yung yung consequences of everything else when you make and apply that decision, and apply that decision.
Okay, sige, hindi na ako, ano doon, hindi na ako mag-disagree. But, of course, thank you so much sa ating mga active commenters and also thank you so much. Batiin na natin. Coach Ron, Mickey, sino ba ba nandyan?
Si
Faith,
Lebs.
Ralph, and to everyone watching, kay Maria, thank you so much for watching again. And also, thank you so much, Franz, for gusto ko yan. Thank you
Theory.
so much, Franz, for gracing our episode tonight. Mag-usap daw kayo ni Nikki. Thank you so much, Franz, for gracing our episode tonight. And also, if may mga ipapromote ka, go, go, go. Promote na yan.
Ayan. So, meron tayong page. You can message me at MaxiCare with Franz for all your HMO needs. We have both prepaid and full HMO. If you need vitamins, I also have Usana. Ano pa ba? If for your St. Peter plan needs or pre-need plans, you can also contact me for St. Peter. And meron pa tayong isa pero hindi pa po na pwedeng sabihin.
Okay, so
Alam na yan
confident.
ni Coach Ron. Pero soon.
Okay, so, yan, ako pala, may po-promote
Ay,
pala
meron pa
tayo.
pala, sorry. Follow me at Better Future with Franz, both on
Ayan, Better
Instagram and
Future with Friends sa Instagram. Teka lang,
and
Better,
Facebook. So, BFF.
yan, Better Future with Friends. Instagram and Facebook, follow nyo guys si Friends. And ako naman magpa-promote. So, ayan, you can buy our merch at Tiny. Hoy, single ako and meron din tayong anong pakimo kung single ako. tinyurl.com/HSA merch. And also, you can join our community. Nandyan sa ticker, bit.ly/HSA community. Ayan. And also, yung ating mga pa-accessories tonight. And so, ating crochet. Message nyo na ako for handmade. Earrings, quintas, and everything. And ek there. And also yung ating mga pa-necklace and bracelet, 29th and 29th po. Yes. Gusto ko yun, mandami tayong pa-shout out. And thank you so much for watching, guys. And also, ano pa ba? Yan, thank you so much lang. Thank you so much. And see you again next week. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, everyone. Salamat, Tita Nikki. Mahal ka rin namin.
Love you, Dix.